Hello everybody, and welcome to part 9 on how to create your own Android launcher / home screen application. I know I have not made another tutorial in a long time. Hopefully that can change if I can find some time. It's a little hard with school in the way. But recently I've been working a lot on Lucid Launcher. I've made a lot of progress since the last time I made a tutorial. And I also came out with Lucid Launcher Pro, so if you want to support me or something like that. So what I want to do is work on a little bit of something that I sort of messed up telling y'all. So the first thing is we're going to want to add another string to the package class. So let's just do that real quick. And that string will be called package name. Now last time we were using this string for the package name, and I want to use this one for the package name now. So from inside of the setPacks method, from packsi.name, change it to packsi.packageName, and we can keep this how it is. And then I want to copy and paste, and instead of package name, change that to name, and then instead of package name at the end, change that to name. So now we have the package name and the name, which is basically the class, which will specifically identify the activity. Because the problem is that you could click on an application, but if you clicked on something like the Photos app, it's linked to Google Plus. It's linked to the Google Plus app because it's in the same package. So that was a problem, because if you clicked on the Photos app, it would end up opening up the Google Plus app instead. Now that we have that added, we need to add it to the drawer click listener. So we're going to have to change the on item click method up a little bit. So what we need to use is something called a component name. And so we can call it CP, and then we can do equals new component name, and it's asking for the package in the class. So for the package, we can do packs for adapter pose dot name or dot package name, and then for the class we can do dot name. So now that we have that added, we can also remove this part. So instead of that, we can say new intent, and then for the action we can do intent dot action main. And then we're going to have to add a category, intent dot add category, and we can do intent dot category underscore launcher. And launcher does not mean like an Android launcher. It doesn't mean like a home screen replacement. Category underscore launcher, it just means that the activity is launchable, and it actually has an activity that can launch and bring up onto the screen, instead of something like running in the background or something like that. And then what we have to do with this component info, we can do launch intent dot set component, and we put in CP. Now we can test something like the Photos app, which would not work before. And as you can see, it opened up the actual Photos app. All we have right now is that you can move it and you can't even launch it. So let's see if we can do something about that now. So let's find the class where it is being added to screen, which is right here. So let's add a touch listener. Let's see. And we already have touch listener. Let's add a click listener. So let's call this app click listener. And this time I have not taken any notes on this, so I'm doing this all from on the spot, so bear with me. So we have app touch listener, and so we can implement on click listener, and then we add unimplemented methods. So now we have the little on click, and then we also have to set the click listener. So we added ll. So let's do ll.set on click listener, and we can do new app click listener. So it's using the dialog interface class, and it shouldn't be using that. So instead of that, we need to use the one of android.view.view. Oops. Okay, now this should work. Alright, so we have the on click listener. So whenever you click on the app, once it's added to the screen, it will call this method. So what we should do is, we have a lot of there's no way of detecting what application it is at the time. Add a tag to the layout. So first let's make a string with the data that it needs to launch, an array, so a string array, and we can call it data equals new string, and we can put 2 in there. So all we need is 2 in the array. So data 0 equals. So how are we going to find out which app it is? I believe this is the position of the app in the grid. And for data 0, we're gonna need to find a way to pass in the class, pass in the package class, that data, we're gonna have to pass that in. So what we can do inside of the drawer long click listener, we can do it just like we did for the drawer click listener. So we're going to have something set up like this, so I can copy that, and inside of the app click, or the drawer long click, we can add this. We can change it to packs for listener actually, and then from within the constructor, we can say packs for listener equals, and then we can do it just the same way we did it for drawer click listener. So we can do it like this. So inside of drawer click listener, in the constructor, add that, and packs for listener equals packs, the one we pass it. Then there's going to be an error somewhere once I save. It's in main activity, it's right here. And all we have to do is pass in the packs. So now that we have that passed in, we can go and say packs. So for the data 0 equals packs for listener position dot name, or let's add package name first, and then for data 1 we can add name. Now the cool thing about tags is that you can pass in anything because it wants an object. So we can just do ll.set tag, and for the object we can do data. So now inside of app click listener we could do, let's change this to V, and then let's copy the drawer click listener code, that what we just modified. So we can just copy and just paste this directly into here, and we're going to need to do a similar thing to where we pass in the packs for listener. So first thing, let's make the constructor. And we can pass in the same way we did over here. So I'm going to copy and paste this once again. And we can change it to packs for listener. Inside of app click listener, we can ask for main activity dot pack, and then we can say packs for listener equals packs. Alright, now that we got that set up, and we are also going to need context. So context, context, and we can we'll have to pass it in as well. So context txt, Control Shift O to import missing imports, and then we can say mcontext equals ctxt. And now we're going to have another error, and it is in drawer long click listener, where we need to pass in packs. For this one we pass in packs for listener as well as mcontext. So there we have that. Now for position, so let's receive the data of the string array that we passed into the tag. So string data equals v.get tag. And then we're going to have to convert it into a string array, or cast it into a string array.